Those fond of playing puzzles and solving problems are sure to find grasping Sudoku rules easy breezy stuff. For playing the Sudoku puzzle you don't really need to be a math scholar, even though it involves a lot of number play and arrangement. It was first introduced in magazines by a famous puzzle publication by the name of Dell Magazines, which identified the game as being number place, meaning a game of placing numbers in the 70s. This New York publication then further popularized the initial Sudoku games, which denotes number, su, and single placement on the board, doku, in Japanese. Thus, it came to be that the puzzle that originated in Japan was finally taken to and accepted in Europe and America with equal enthusiasm, as it proved to be a real mental challenge. But, it was not until 2005 that Sudoku gained actual international prominence, with widespread excitement over newer nations and people of all ages taking to the puzzle solving with Sudoku competitions and timelines, besides prizes coming in the fray. The game of Sudoku revolves around a 9x9 grid with pre-entered numbers in it, referred to as givens. Its aim is to fill in numbers 1 to 9 so each figures only once in each subgrid, row and column. Now that we have covered the basic ground for playing Sudoku, we can move on to other important rules of the puzzle solving. Players must remember that each number should only appear once in every row, column or region. Then, they must work to understand the three parts of solving the puzzle, namely, scanning, marking up and analysis. The first process is of two types: cross-hatching, that requires one to identify lines across a particular area so as to eliminate any digit appearing there, and the second technique that requires counting the areas of the grid to check out which could be missing numbers. The next stage requires candidate numerals to be written in the cell's subscript, but when the Sudoku game appears in mags and dailies, it often is bereft of enough space to put these in, so this is better achieved in the online or electronic Sudoku game. Another choice for Sudoku solving is to use the dot marking on cells where it corresponds to a number in the range of 1 to 9. This is especially useful for printed Sudoku puzzles. The last step, analysis, requires candidate number elimination, also known as what if, that removes numbers from cells so that only one choice is left. Thereafter, a second scanning is conducted, which reveals the effect of contingencies, much like what if, where two numbers are left, and so guesswork may be required. With different rates of problem solving from light to very difficult and computerization coming into the picture, there is no doubt about the popularity the game enjoys today, as fans can customize, print and alter variations of the game to suit their preferences, including changing to larger fonts, bigger puzzles and challenge competitors. Thus, it is no wonder that Sudoku rules and tricks are fast changing and have become more fun, too. Try it today to know its appeal. The easiest way to play the easy Sudoku. Here we learn the best ways to play easy Sudoku, so if you are enamored by what makes every Sunday paper such a treat for the game's enthusiasts, stick around and learn the simple strategies. You just may surprise yourself with emerging as a Sudoku champion at the end of it. Essentially involving numbers, the game of Sudoku has left very few untouched with the excitement or pairing the grids right in the fastest time possible, and Americans are all for the addiction that is easy Sudoku. This famous puzzle involves the use of a 9x9 grid divided into 9 equal squares with the objective of placing numbers 1 to 9 in these squares, but the player has to remember that each number can only be used one in every row or column and only in formation of 3x3 squares. The easy Sudoku puzzle typically has a given set of numbers that the player needs to deduce regarding placement, which is what decides the level of complexity of the puzzle game. The various ranges of game range from easy to moderately hard to very difficult, which a player can choose based on the strength of his skills of logic. Begin with the easy Sudoku if you are just starting to develop an interest in the game, and work your way up to the next level once you've mastered the first. You can also purchase a Sudoku puzzle book that falls in this range if you don't fancy the one in the daily rag. Usually, the puzzle appearing on Monday has the easy game, and once you've learned the strategies and techniques for playing this one right, you will find it a breeze to get to the next level. Thinking in a logical manner and clearly is very important to ensure you don't get the same numbers in each row or column. Each 3x3 box in the game should hold a new number that should act as a clue to your getting to use the next number in the same series. Easy Sudoku puzzles afford a better chance to start the game series easily, so are recommended for beginners. Look around for the various possibilities for numbers. When you begin at 1, you can make an imaginary line on the boxes in the rows and columns of ones. Once you've done this and see only a single box as in the 9 square block, know your possibility is strong, so stick with it. Next, to solve the easy Sudoku, you can work on the other numbers till you reach the possibility for 9, this is more doable after you've successfully fitted in a few numbers at least. If you feel the number is not fitting in and you are trapped, you may need to go back a few steps and try other numbers. This step involves the location of the missing number, which can be reached by labeling each block with everything which has a chance to be on the box.